do not watch this video unless you're interested in old Hoover parts, because it will not be interesting to you, and I promise you, you will fall asleep within about a minute if you last that long, or you will die of boredom, and I don't want to be responsible for that. I need all the subscribers I can get, so I'm just giving you a warning. By all means watch it, I'm grateful if you do, but I bet you can't stay awake because it is dead boring. It really is. If I've said that before, and I know I have, this one is going to be about the most boring because it's just going to be about Hoover parts. But anyway, you're welcome to watch it, so don't say I didn't warn you, that's all. I've been doing up this little Hoover dustette. You'll probably see it in another video, and I need a cord protector for it. This particular piece is perished. Anyway, I'm going to go and have a look in my little shed, which is what I call my Hoover shed. It's where I keep my old Hoovers, and see if I can find one, but I'm not very hopeful of finding a dustette cord protector actually. But I thought you might like to have a quick look in my shed. I don't usually show people in there, and it's a bit of a mudhole, but I thought you might be interested to see what I've got in there. So let's go outside and we'll have a look. Now, I'm a bit of a shed person. I've got quite a few sheds actually, and this is my old Hoover shed. I bought this when I got married back in 1969, and it's moved a few times with me. It's a brilliant little shed, and I've actually extended it. I've put a couple of feet on each end actually to make it bigger. But this is where I keep some of my junk and some of my old Hoovers. So we'll have a look inside, shall we? I don't normally show people in here, and it is a bit of a muddle hole. But as you can see, I've got various boxes of things, spare parts and things. There's old Hoovers and stuff. There's a Hoover 262 peeking through there. That's been there for a few years. And now down here you can see a stack of old handles for various Hoover models. Now down inside the shed you'll see various Hoovers scattered about. As I said, it is a bit of a muddle hole at the moment. Even underneath the counter thing at the back there, there's a lot of old Hoovers lurking in there. They haven't got the handles and things on. They're in various stages of being renovated. I started doing them 40 odd years ago, and I've never got I've only done a couple actually. I'm too busy doing other things. You'll see there's an American model there as well. Lovely colour scheme. My brother gave me that. He still runs a vacuum cleaner repair shop, and somebody brought it in. It was no good, the motor had gone I believe, but when he gave it to me I didn't realise it's only 110 volts. But what I thought I'd do, I quite like the colour scheme, so I thought I might actually put a 652 motor in it and convert it to 240 volts. But I spied these two Hoover boxes up in the corner. Got quite a few of these boxes with spare parts and things in. So I thought what I'm going to do, I'm going to fetch those boxes out, take them in the workshop, and we'll open them up and you can have a look and see what's inside. I have got quite a lot of old Hoovers. I mostly only collected the ones, well mostly pre-war with the exception of 160s, 262s. After the 652 I lost interest in the modern ones. Up on the shelves I've got boxes of brushes. These are metal strip brushes for really old Hoovers going back to the 1930s, and this one's full of the plastic brush strips used for the more modern machines. And down here you'll see I've got a box of handle grips. These are brand new for old Hoover machines with a switch cover plate doings, and I've got the original handle grips and the more modern ones. All these are what we had in our shop when we stopped trading. I brought a lot of them home and kept them. Well, here's the first one, folks. God, they're blooming heavy, I know that. Full of junk. Ignore the fact that it says property of Hoover Bolton on the lid. That's long gone. These are the stock boxes that Hoover used to send the spare parts to us in. So let's have a look and see what we've got, folks. By the way, I fully expect you to go to sleep during the middle of this video. Well, probably long before the middle, because it's going to be a bit boring. And I don't suppose many people will still be awake. That's if you manage to keep it going. Well, first thing we've got, that looks interesting. Anybody know what that is? That's a Hoover 160-960 hood. Handle bail for the older models. Another handle bail. The problem is, I took a lot of these machines apart to pack them up and bring them here, because I moved house back in 1983 and had all this stuff in my shed there and had to move a whole lot. And some of the machines, I took them apart ready for refurbishing, and of course I never got round to doing them, and I packed them in boxes and chucked them back in the shed. So I don't know what's what we got here. Right, well there's that is a Hoover 160 motor with the cap missing. It's got a handle socket. That's for a model Hoover 160, folks. Good old motor, that. Put that there out of the way. What else have we got? Oh dear. Another 160 motor, complete with fan. He's a bit tight, but he'd clean up. And he's got his handle socket as well, so that's another 160. I'll put that down out of the way. Also, oh, there's a now that's a 262. You can tell it's a 262 by the type of fan on it, the fan pulley, and the motor cap is slightly smaller. I'm not going to take everything out because you'll be asleep. That's another 262 motor. Look, there's a Bakelite bag flange for the older models, and there's a aluminium bag flange. I prefer the aluminium ones actually. That's the Bakelite, the later type. That's a 262 fan. Armature. You see he's quite well worn around there, but electrically speaking it may well work. If it hasn't been arcing it will be okay. That's the 262 armature. Oh, there's a 160 fan assembly. Brand new, look, never been used for Hoover 160 or 960. It's all interesting stuff this, folks, isn't it? Top cap for a 160. There's a bearing plate. I know it's all scruffy and that. This is off a 262, I believe. Yeah, that's a 262 one. That's a 262 bottom plate. Let's see if the armature fits. There's the old armature, look. And that goes in there. Another brand new bag flange, look. Brand new Bakelite bag flange. Bottom plate with bearing for an older Hoover. And another one. And another bottom plate. And another 262 fan. Good God. Rare as hen's teeth they are, 262 fans. I won't get all the rest of it out. Oh, there's a little, that looks like a little 119 fan, doesn't it? I think that's a 119. Genuine Hoover, obviously. 119 1224 fan. Brand new, never used. Oh, here's a dustette fan. That's a Hoover dustette fan. I'm doing a dustette at the moment. I still haven't found the piece I'm looking for, mind. There's another bottom plate. I won't take all this out. There's an early bag slide, the one with a little hook on that used a tape. There's some wheels and things. There's a few other bits. I won't get them out. There's an interesting baggage here, look, wrapped up in paper. Now this is interesting because if it's got paper around it, it'll probably have a date on it. So let's have a look and see. 5th of November 1977. That is the date that I packed all this stuff into this box. It's been in there ever since. There's some good old adverts on there, look. I might read that later, folks. That's one thing about wrapping stuff up in newspaper. You get a date, don't you? I wonder what's in the little package though. Oh, I remember this. I remember now. This is a top cap. Is it an 875, is it, I think? It was broken in half and I actually glued it together with epoxy resin there. You can see where I scraped it. And then I filled it with filler and I've tried to spray it up temporarily, and that was actually broken in half. And I made it serviceable again. I remember doing that, but that's a long time ago. Here's a little bag of assortment parts. Oh, there's a rating plate in here, look. Oh, there we are, 875. There we are, look. Hoover 875. Interesting enough, in these early machines, Hoover used what they call a two-part bearing. So the actual ball bearing part, you could take it apart. You could take it out easily, and you could take the centre part with the balls out. Good way for cleaning and greasing, isn't it? That's the Hoover two-part bearing. It's actually got a maker's name on there. Obviously they didn't make the bearings. Hoffman. That's probably still as good as the day it was made. It'll probably still work fine. Well, it will do. I'm sure it will. It looks perfectly alright. I hope you're still awake. If you're not awake, wake up! Well, if you're still there, thanks very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in part 2. Bye for now.